Hello again. I'm here with another book review for The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. And today we will find out, is it as good as the hype says it is? So, Hate You Give is my last book in my Black History Month series of books I read for February. Let me tell you the synopsis of the story here. 16-year-old Star Carter moves between two worlds, the poor black neighborhood where she lives and the fancy suburban prep school she attends. The uneasy balance between these worlds is shattered when Star witnesses the fatal shooting of her childhood best friend, Khalil, at the hands of a police officer. Khalil was unarmed. Soon afterward, Khalil's death is a national headline. Some are calling him a thug, maybe even a drug dealer, a gangbanger. Star's best friends at school suggest he may have had it coming. When it becomes clear the police have little interest in investigating the incident, protesters take to the streets and Star's neighborhood becomes a war zone. What everyone wants to know is what really went down that night, and the only person alive who can answer that is Star. But what Star does or does not say can destroy her community. It could also endanger her life. Angie Thomas' series debut about an ordinary girl in an extraordinary situation addresses issues of racism and police violence with intelligent heart and unflinching honesty. Okay, I did enjoy this book. I could see it definitely being a 5-star book, but the problem I have with this book is I read these other two, and people who are reading this book, or some people who might read this book, or even see the movie supposedly that's going to be coming out of this, have not read these two books. Have not read New Jim Crow. Have not read about racial history. And while there's some parts of this book I really like, I like, for example, what's this Star? Her father was not around because he was in prison for a drug issue, and then he had trouble getting a job for a couple of years, and that's how he started running a store, and that directly ties into what this book talks about, as far as the way people view people in that community and people of color ties into this book very seriously, as far as how people look at somebody, a black person or African American person in a car, and when they pull them over, a cop is more willing to pull out his gun faster because of a racial ideal that has been perpetrated in the society. Sadly, I feel like, and this is just from me being totally honest, I feel like while I love this book, I don't think this is going to reach across the aisle to people who still don't understand what a Black Lives Matter movement is. For people who sit there and say, well, this person's a criminal, or this person was a drug dealer, or this person was this or that, or, they didn't listen to the cops. That's what I feel like. While, yes, this is a very powerful book for people who know what's going on. For people who don't, I don't think it did enough. And maybe that's my selfishness, I guess, as far as like wanting to really have this drawn out and explained to people. Because I want this to change. I don't want this to just be an echo chamber where everybody who knows about all the problems in the communities, especially, poverty-stricken communities, who can, look at this book and get real answers. And like I said, sometimes for people who know what's going on, yeah, this book is perfect. But for people who don't, I think it just leaves a little too many holes. One other problem I have with the book is it kind of obviously, villainizes this one gang leader. And, rightfully so. I didn't like the way it ended. It was very, I don't say it was very Hollywood. It ended kind of very Hollywood. Like, I don't want to give the ending of this book away, but I felt like, okay, this was kind of like a nice, easy way of saying, oh, everything's going to be fine, as far as like we just got rid of the bad guy type thing. And I don't agree with that. I feel like there's so many other problems, so many systemic problems in communities that while I like this book, I wonder what the movie's going to do. I wonder how the movie's going to portray the cop. I wonder how people will react to this story once it gets more mainstream. So, like I said, I will give this book a 5-star. I really like this book, but I think as a social message, it might have just missed the mark just a little tiny bit by just kind of, there's still the gray in there that people can argue about if they don't understand the history. And that's why, I think it does have some problems. And that's basically my review of The Hate U Give. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.